Hi guys, I'm Dr. Jess Bueller. If you don't know me, I practice chiropractic, acupuncture, and NATE in Oneida, South Dakota. And nothing that I'm saying is intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any symptom, condition, or disease. We don't claim to do that with any products. So just to get that out of the way before we start, I'm going to start talking to you about NRF2 Protandem, which is what the ABC Primetime Investigative Report was on that you already watched, or hopefully you already watched. And so just very simply, we are 37 trillion cells. On the simplest level, that's what we are. And what NRF2 is a cellular activator. So one of the coolest studies that was done and actually showed that within seconds of taking NRF2 Protandem that it was incorporated into every single cell. And so you think about that, who wouldn't want to take something that just can affect every system in our body and so fast. So if you could turn on all of your good genes and turn off all of your bad genes with one tiny yellow pill a day, wouldn't you want to? And I think that is the cool thing, is that so many people got the exact same thing after they watched the ABC. And I'm sure at least some of you felt the same way, where you were at least wanting more information after you watched that. And it's really a strong validation for the product and for the company. And so we are FDA approved to say that we can lower oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. So what is oxidative stress? That's kind of where you need to start. And so in everyday processes, breathing, eating, exercising, we release free radicals. And free radicals cause damage to our cells. And when that damage starts to accumulate, it's a term called oxidative stress. Basically, your ability to neutralize free radicals is not outweighing the damage that is happening. And so basically, that's when the antioxidant boom began and free radical research began. We were just trying to find an antioxidant that could neutralize all these free radicals. And so study after study was done on antioxidants. And so if you look around, there's antioxidants in everything, right? We're, fruits, vegetables, super greens, super fruits. There's every single thing you think of. There's something about antioxidant content in it. But the thing is that antioxidants can only neutralize free radicals at a ratio of 1:1. And all of the research that's ever been done, you could not take enough antioxidants to reverse a condition, a symptom, or a disease. But with NRF2 Protandem, what we get is we basically just activate the cell. And when you activate the cell, there is a protein within the cell, protein enzyme called NRF2. And it stands for something. It's nuclear erythroid factor 2. So this enzyme attaches to your DNA and it causes an expression of certain genes. So there are over 25,000 human genes that are affected. So you turn on the good things and turn off the bad things. That's the simple way of looking at it. But one of the things that is turned on is our body's own antioxidant production. And so what happens is we start producing antioxidants at a rate of 1,000,000 to 1 every second. So 1,000,000 to 1, making them on our own or trying to take them at a rate of 1:1. I mean, it's obvious everyone would choose the 1,000,000 to 1 version, right? So that's just one of the genes affected. It is anti-inflammatory, anti-fibrotic, anti-cancer. So it affects every cell. So that's every tissue, every system, every organ, every part of your body is affected positively. So could you see yourself taking this? When I got done researching just NRF2, I was like, wow, everyone needs to know about this. It's so cool. But maybe you are. So the 5 components of NRF2 Protandem are ashwagandha, bacopa, turmeric, milk thistle and green tea, sorry. And I'm sure you've heard of those, and maybe you're even taking them. But the thing that makes NRF2 proteandum different is something called synergy. And so if you took all of those things separately, or even all at one time, but you took a lot bigger dosage or a smaller dosage, you don't get the same effect. But when Dr. McCord's team put the exact portion that they did together in NRF2 proteandum, they got an 1,800% increase in the effectiveness. And that is the power of synergy. And that is also why we have 7 patents on our blend, 7 US patents, and there are some international patents as well. But those patents come because of the blend. So normally with supplements, you can't patent them because you can't patent things that God created. You can't patent turmeric and say no one else can make or take turmeric because it's just, you can grow it. But you can patent blends. And so we have 7. And if you look at those 7, you'll see their exact purposes, showing the blend in its impact on anti-inflammatory, its impact on anti-tumor, and etc. So the patents are really cool. So again, a category creating product right here. And the first patent was in 2003. And so very cool. So over a decade of research has happened since then. And the reason is because we have something so compelling that everyone else wants to research it. And they have major universities, Mayo, Johns Hopkins University, Washington State University. We're backed by the American Heart Association. It's just very, very cool. And so universities, nutraceutical companies, pharmaceutical companies have researched it, and all of this has just validated further the product that we have. So there are 23 peer-reviewed studies that are available in PubMed. What is PubMed? PubMed is the public medical database. It's where doctors go to do their research to find good peer-reviewed science. And we have 23 studies available on just NRF2 proteandum alone. And if you go, I would venture to guess if you do this, if you take a supplement you're currently taking or have taken in the past and you go and type it into PubMed, if you can find even one peer-reviewed study, I would be surprised. But to have 23 is very significant. So also, there is a drug that utilizes this same NRF2 mechanism. It's called Tecfidera, and it's a drug that's used for MS. And this company, Biogenet, actually studied proteandum in comparison to their synthetic product. And of course, we know that with synthetic things, we always have side effects. Medications always have that long list of things that could possibly happen or potentially happen. And we don't have that with NRF2 proteandum because it's natural. But with synthetics, you do. So at the end of the study, they were able to get anywhere from a maximum amount would be 20% reduction, and we give 40% every person every time, hands down. So at the end of the study, they recommended that proteandum be taken as it was the most potent inducer of the NRF2 pathway. I mean, that never happens that a drug company says, take this supplement instead, although it is still on the market, and it's very expensive too. So, but anyway, groundbreaking technology is so intriguing that others want to study it. That's why you're here tonight. That's why I'm taking a Sunday evening to talk to you about this, because this is very big. The magnitude of this is huge for me, and I need help sharing this information with more people because it's important. So NRF2 decreases our oxidative stress, but once you've had oxidative stress and those free radicals have been doing their damage, the cells are damaged, and part of the cell that gets damaged is the mitochondria. And the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, the engine. And so came in May of 2016, Life Vantage released a product called NRF1 proteandum, and it utilizes a similar mechanism to NRF2. So you activate the cell. NRF1 is an antioxidant, or protein enzyme within the cell. It attaches to your DNA and it causes an expression of certain genes. And in this case, it is for mitochondrial repair, mitochondrial replication, and DNA production. So what does that mean? It means we fix the old engines, we give the cells more engines, and then we give them fuel. So it means cellular functioning. So whatever the cell's job is, it can do it better. And who doesn't want that? So while we know that the underlying root cause, or an underlying factor in every symptom, condition, or disease is oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction is not in everything, but it is in a lot of things. So again, back to that PubMed where you could do really good research, or a Google Scholar search. If you typed in mitochondrial dysfunction and say something that you're dealing with or that you're wanting help with, so mitochondrial dysfunction and high blood pressure, mitochondrial dysfunction and infertility, or whatever the case is, you can see what there is to show as far as what you have going on specifically. But mitochondrial dysfunction, if you just think of it very simply, think of how many people you know that are tired. You know, they just are fatigued. That is definitely a huge one. And I can tell you, I know lots and lots and lots of people that they can relate to that. So you take the rust off your car with NRF2, and then you supercharge the engine with NRF1. These two products right here are category creating. There is nothing that compares, nothing that has peer-reviewed scientific research to validate what it does like these two products. So this is the 1-2 punch of biohacking your DNA. I had this meeting, it's called the Biohackers meeting. And the reason is we get to take a really complex system and take control of that. So think of that. We can biohack our DNA to get a certain outcome, right? To express certain genes in the way that we want them expressed. I mean, we were designed perfectly, and we create toxic situations for our body. So who would not want that for yourself and for everyone that you love and care about? Biohacking your DNA is awesome. It is using a science called nutrigenomics, right? Using your nutrition to affect your DNA expression. Very cool. And Life Vantage is at the forefront of nutrigenomics. And again, we have the most peer-reviewed research on a product. And this is not new. It's new. It was new to you. It's new to me. I found out about this product in June of this year, but it is not new. I mean, 2003, that's a long time. This is awesome. People need to hear about this. So hopefully you're getting excited, because I'm excited. Axio, I'm going to talk to you about the other products that they have very briefly, and then we'll kind of wrap this up. But Axio is their liquid brain food, and it fits in the category of energy drinks because it has B vitamins in it, but it's way more than that. This is NRF2 activation specifically for the brain. Over 3,000 genes are upregulated that are affecting your neurotransmitter connectivity. So the chemicals in your brain get to the part of the brain that they need to get to. This is very huge for so many things. Think about people that they sleep enough time, but they wake up in the morning and they're still tired. Or you hit a mid-morning lull or an afternoon wall, or you don't recover very well from a workout, or maybe you're just having a hard time focusing, or maybe you have a child that has a hard time focusing. Maybe there's some underlying issues there that you really want to get focused on. Axio is just awesome. And then also there's a skincare line called True Science, and it's an NRF2 activator. It's the same formulation blended of NRF2 proteandum in a skincare line. So your skin is your largest organ system. So who wouldn't want that activation from the outside in? And that's what the company thought too. Excuse me. There was a study done by the National Institute of Aging. That's our government's national institute, and it was a multi-continental 10-year study on different supplements and medications and anything that was touted to be anti-aging. And Protandim NRF2 was in that study. At the end of the 10-year study, the only supplement found to extend health span was NRF2 Protandim. So the only product to extend lifespan. Holy moly, does that not get exciting, right? So if we could do that from the inside out, why wouldn't we want a product from the outside in? And so that's where the skincare line came from. And then pet tandem, people were giving their dogs and other animals Protandim NRF2. And so they reformulated that specifically to a dog's digestive system. And dogs obviously have a higher oxidative stress load than we do. That's why they age so much faster. So pet tandem. And then there's also Physique, which is a weight management line. There's a protein shake. And then in capsule form, there's a fat burn, a cleanse, and a probiotic called ProBio. So I'm going to just briefly touch on ProBio, although this whole line is really cool. But ProBio, probiotics are really huge. This is something I constantly am recommending. I'm going to give you my top 4 benefits of probiotics. I think everybody should have these, especially going into this holiday season. These products are huge. But 70 to 90% of your immune function comes from these good guys in your gut. And it helps with your digestion, absorption of your food, and makes a barrier so things are not getting out of your gut into places they shouldn't be. And then it also aids in the connection, that gut-brain connection that is so vital. So those 4 big things. But why our probiotic is so awesome, it has the right strains. They added Wellmune, which has really cool stuff in it too. But anyway, the thing that makes it different than other probiotics is they put a biotract lining on it. So it bypasses your stomach acid and gets to the gut where we need it to be in the first place. So very cool, ProBio. So really, we have products that people want and need, and the demand is high. And honestly, wellness is never getting old. In fact, people are really starting to jump on this idea that they're going to have to do something to take care of themselves to prevent all of these things, because you can't just rely on someone else to do it for you. There's no magic potion. We all need to have tools in our tool belt to help with health. And so this really is a stellar company. Really good research, high quality products. Nothing more you could really ask for. So I'm going to talk to you about the business side of this. This is something I didn't used to talk about. I talk about it now, and I really feel like it's important to talk about it too. So I have a successful chiropractic healing business, and it's largely based on referrals. Why? You give a service that's good, and people come back and they tell other people about it, and that's how I've grown. And so, but I also think about that, daily networking. We do this all the time, and women, you're the worst, right? All you do is share and talk about things you like and things you hate, both, right? So think about that. If you go to a restaurant and you have amazing food and stellar service, what do? You go and tell everyone, and then they want to go there because you talked about it, right? Or even in my house, I was looking around trying to figure out things that I had not purchased because someone told me about, even down to my cleaning supplies, which are totally, they're all natural. Someone told me about that, and I got excited and I got it, or your decorations or your leggings, your favorite pair of leggings. I mean, if somebody tells you they found some they really loved, you're going to look into it. It's just, that's how we work, right? And the other thing is we're all short on time. And everybody is technology driven, right? We need easy. We want things to be quick. We don't want to have to mess around with about it. And we want to do it when it works for us. And that is what this company provides. The products come directly to you. They come in a 30-day supply. So it only makes sense that you'll need to have an auto ship, because you're going to need product again when 30 days comes. And the cost of NRF2 Protandim is only $40 a month. So when you hear about something that Washington State University quotes as the most extraordinary therapeutic and the most extraordinary preventive breakthrough, scientific breakthrough in the history of medicine, I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to share that with everyone? And who doesn't want to benefit from that? And once you start doing it, what happens then? You get all these testimonies back, and they're awesome. And then you just want to share it even more. So I'm going to just explain the company's story. In 2003, they had one study, one patent. In 2005, the ABC Primetime Investigative Report was aired. And those are made to find the spoof, guys. They're not made to validate products. And we got significant validation there because John Quinones had a 45% reduction in 2 weeks. That's awesome. 2005 till 2009, they were on health food stores, and the company was going downhill fast. And nobody was buying it because nobody knew what an NRF2 synergizer was. There were no competitors. I mean, where do you even put it on the shelf, you know? And so Dr. McCord and his team hired a marketing team, if you will, to try to figure out what to do with it, because they were a bunch of scientists. They weren't salesmen, right? So they hire this sales team, and when they get done with it, the suggestion was it needed to be in direct sales. And Dr. McCord said, absolutely not. That sounds like multi-level marketing. I don't like the stigma, and you're not doing that with my product. They did a 6-week trial. Direct sales won by 300%. And so here we are in this system that it is right now. And the company went from a $4 million company in 2009 to a $200 million company in 2014. But there's a story that needs to be told. There's over a decade of research. There's 23 peer-reviewed studies available on PubMed and 7 patents on NRF2 alone. There's many, many, many more studies that are not peer-reviewed, but there's so much validation. In fact, there's so much validation that even doctors are like, is this really real? Because you just don't find that. 2 category creating products and things that people are looking for now. And so of course you're going to get amazing testimonies because the product is based on science, and that's what makes this different than other companies. So no one knows about it. If you're first to market with something that no one knows about, that's life-changing, think about this. Think about companies like Microsoft, Apple, Nike. Well, we have something better than that. It's not just and I say it like that because it is to me. Your health is bigger to me than a product in other ways. But really, if you want to get the products in your body now, let's get started. If you want to share this with more people, if you have that Rolodex going through your mind of people that you want to help, then let's get started with that too. You know, let's move forward. We can help you. If you want to be the first to market with products that are literally changing lives, let's get started. So get back to whoever brought you to this call. And like I said before, if you have more questions, you can contact me directly or contact who sent you. And I just want to thank you for your time, because I know everybody is short on time. There's 1,000 other things you could have been doing tonight, but you're listening to me. And so I really do appreciate that. And I'm going to just remind you to get back to whoever sent you. I'm going to take the recording off, and you guys are free to ask questions.